Mike Sierra 1 can't handle the truth.
You're a cheat and a swindler. That's what you are. How can you do a thing like this?
I am authorized to assure you these rumors are based on hysteria and are absolutely false. I repeat, these rumors are absolutely false.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining me once again as I take another look into the relentless lies of Mike Zero. Zero has always maintained that you're allowed to have your view and opinions. If you like something or you don't, we are all individuals. You're welcome to have your say in the comments. Now that's all well and good, until you say something he doesn't like, then you get yourself blocked. You can however still see your comment, but the rest of those on his channel don't, and so the endless cycle of agreement continues, unhampered by those who seek to do him harm, even if it means just asking a simple question like where he gets his information from. Then there are those who tell it like it is, but they too feel the wrath of the delete button and become a part of history. It's not like you're threatening his life or are coming to find him and burn his basement down. No, these are genuine curiosities, or at best people trying to inform others what this guy is all about, and he can't have individual thoughts. Moreover, anyone speaking out against his channel, he wants that herd mentality, one mind thinking the same things to the point of exhaustion. As you can see, I have put up a few examples of this so-called free speech that have now been silenced. Is that fair? Well, no, not really. But as I keep trying to remind people, those who have nothing to hide or fear will take a knock on the chin and accept that not everyone will agree with you. If you're doing something that is clearly wrong, you'll do your best to cover stuff up. Zero could silence his critics easily, me included, if he just told the truth for once, or at the very least show some receipts that would validate him and the channel.
It's explained that one of the big changes to the film had to do with Kathleen Kennedy deleting many of Luke Skywalker's scenes from the movie. Now, it's explained that behind the scenes, Daisy Ridley was angry and a bit frustrated with Kathleen Kennedy deleting many scenes from the film. Now, on top of this, it was best labeled as a badass moment in the film that Phoebe worked and trained hard for, which was said to be a moment in which the Helena scenes that were deleted by Kennedy that Phoebe Waller had a very big issue with Kennedy about involved Helena fighting Waller during the siege of Syracuse. This is where things get crazy.
Cutting scenes from a movie or show is nothing new, and this fallout scenario between Kennedy and the stars themselves is nothing new either. It's history repeating itself, as Zero talks about scenes that were never proven to exist, but were fabricated by Zero, then deleted anyway. During some of his videos from years gone by, Zero spoke of plot points in those films as part of his leaked information. But after the films came out, and nothing he mentioned happened in the films, Zero went on to blame Kennedy for deleting said scenes that only he ever talked about, scenes that he made up. This will be another point in his videos moving forward, and once again highlights how Zero hasn't got updates, but recycled story threads of his own making.
This is described to be the Acolyte spin-off show that was being led by Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland that focused on a Jedi god. The series was going to be a small-scale series that Lucasfilm is now pulling the plug on. The series is now officially getting wiped from the slate of Star Wars shows that was intended to release in the beginning of 2025 that was going to feature actress Brie Larson in the ensemble cast series. A big reason why Disney decided to cancel this immediately didn't have to do with just Kathleen Kennedy, but also that Disney lately has been having issues with Brie Larson after the production of The Marvels.
If you haven't watched any of my other videos, then I will just explain that for years Zero was adamant that Brie Larson was going to be the lead in The Acolyte. She was also going to be in a spin-off show with no name, and this too was going to be fronted by Headland. After the show's real cast was announced, Zero removed Brie from The Acolyte, but still kept her in the spin-off show. That show was dropped and or cancelled by Bob Chapek back in November of 2020, and again by Bob Iger 2 years and 5 months later. It's no longer on the roadmap as heard in that clip from May 2nd, 2023. So let's now go forward to July 11th of this year and see, just like I keep saying, how Zero won't and can't leave well enough alone.
However, it's noted that one of the big plans by Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland, since the Acolyte spin-off show is still a go, is that both Kennedy and Leslie actually met up with actress Brie Larson weeks ago for her to turn to the Star Wars franchise and to take the role of Maeve again.
This show has been cancelled twice, the first time by Chapek in November 2020, the second time by Iger in May 2023. and in the space of just 2 months and 10 days later, Zero has resurrected the show once again, with Brie ready to reprise a role she never had in the first place. These are not updates, this is recycling, and this is why I take issue with what Zero does. A high percentage of YouTube creators I watch will cover the same story and update accordingly, but do this using one video a day, because making a real video takes time, a great deal of editing, a great deal of hard work on their part. They deserve the credit they get, both with subscriptions, the likes, and of course the money they earn from that video. Then in steps Zero, with his same video footage, vocal stumbles whilst reading back his script, buzzwords and keywords that he just can't escape, like the board, behind closed doors, loyal to Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger, John, George and Dave. Moving on, I digress. And finally, let's not forget, of course, that two-word combo he loves to use to give his brain a chance to actually remember what it was talking about in the first place.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
A few days ago the Ahsoka trailer dropped, and I must say I was suitably impressed with what I saw. But that's just me, and I'm looking forward to escaping into the Star Wars world again, even if it only lasts until the start of October. Zero, however, thought that more videos about Phoebe Waller-Bridge and the running battle between Tom Cruise and Kathleen Kennedy was far more newsworthy. He hasn't really released anything about the Ahsoka show, only reflecting on what most knew, and that was the bloody obvious. But with most again sharing their views on the good and bad about the trailer and what might be in the show in general, by the time Zero decided to make a video about Ahsoka, it wasn't about what's coming or even about the trailer. No, he decided that he needed a confliction of some sort, to get blood pressures up and the fingers of his subscribers smashing into a keyboard once again.
Bob Iger recently called off the development for the second season of Star Wars Ahsoka, off the roadmap of the Star Wars franchise for its long list of Star Wars shows and more. The original plan was to turn Ahsoka into the main flagship series for the franchise instead of The Mandalorian, and now that is being turned around completely as a last-minute decision between Iger and the board. One major development that has surfaced involves more bad news related to Ahsoka. After the cancellation of Season 2, we talked about this yesterday by the way, already showing some level of lacking confidence on other major pieces of this development, is that Lucasfilm and Disney recently deleted an entire post-credit scene for Star Wars Ahsoka that was created by Favreau and Filoni that was to set up and build up for Season 2 for 2025.
So remember, you heard this from Zero, there is not going to be a follow-up to Ahsoka Season 1. Bob Iger has stopped Season 2 before the first season has even aired. Most have claimed that Thrawn might not even appear until close to the end of the first season. If that's the case, then what are they going to do without a Season 2? And to emphasize my point about unnecessary videos, or at best, too many videos, he comes back the next day to tell you in a 10-second piece that they deleted a post-credit scene, something that could have been in the video from the day before. But why would you want to do that when you can make a 9-minute video that explains nothing at all, other than a scene was deleted to set up a new season of a show that isn't coming anyway? Zero has been lucky once again. His Star Wars news was waning, and the Dial of Destiny has helped boost the numbers, much like the firing of Gina Carano helped him before. But already within a few short weeks, people are beginning to see that the channel is full to the brim of misinformation, repetitive lies, or as a good many are noticing, blatant clickbait. The views are slowly dropping back into the realms of where they were before Zero got his hands on the indie franchise and by extension, Tom Cruise. Zero has no barometer to tell him that he has saturated a topic once again. He only sees dollar signs, which is the most important factor when putting his videos together, not the content within. As long as he can fool you into clicks, it's job done. Well, that's all I have for today. I'm sure it won't be long before more lies become evident, and I will be waiting for that when it happens. Until the next time, take care, and I'll see you again soon.